This next video segment will be focusing on the private markets pathway. Let me introduce myself as we get started in this section. My name is Greg Philbeck. I hold an endowed professorship in the Penn State University system, where I've been since 2006. I previously served as Senior Vice President of Kaplan Schw from 1999 to 2006. I have been working in the level 3 prep space for over 20 years and have done over 140 seminars in that time period. I'm looking forward to working with you now in material related to alternative investments that are a part of the private markets pathway at level 3. I have published 20 books and over 115 academic articles, and I currently serve as the President's Council representative for the Eastern region for the CFA Institute and the previous president of CFA Society Pittsburgh. So looking forward to working with you guys. As a part of this video segment, we're going to go through and talk about some very important topics, beginning with the first topic area, which is related to private special situations. Private special situations. Now, as we begin to explore this topic of private special situations, really the first thing we should be doing is really understanding what we mean by the term private special situations. We're going to be focusing in this video segment on those type of investments that are stressed, distressed, event-driven opportunities that typically occur over a shorter time frame. And that is how we're classifying that. And again, when we start looking across the curriculum, particularly in the alternative spaces across the 3 levels of the CFA exam, the terminology piece becomes critical, and a lack of uniformity across the industry, and also the fact that this is a relatively newer topic as we think about finance in general. This certainly is going to be an important understanding or consideration when you start thinking about the strategies. So being able to understand kind of the big picture of how this all ties in is going to be important. And as we go through this material, you'll notice particularly in this subject area with private special situations, there are some opportunities for calculations. Most of what we're asked to do, as we see when we move to the exam focus area, is really not quantitative in nature. Although certainly from an illustration standpoint, a calculation could be required here or there. But in general, what you're looking at is an understanding of the conceptualization of how things work, with it also being able to, in a descriptive form, perhaps describe how you would go about perhaps determining a certain value or whatnot. So we'll talk about that. You'll see that obviously as part of the emphasis we're going to be going through based on the content here with Schw. And remember, as we're walking through this material, we're going through highlights associated with the material associated with this topic as described in the Schw notes. Now, as we look at the exam focus for materials related to private situations, we see 5 major focuses. The first of which is, as we just discussed, is related to this broad topic of private special situations. And we need to understand, for those stressed, distressed, event-driven opportunities over a shorter time period, what are some of their features, but what are also some of the risks from an investor's standpoint. So then we break us down into some of the particular categories that we're going to be looking at, and we will spend a lot of time talking about distressed debt. And we know that the process for valuation can be quite complex with distressed debt. We know that there are often situations where we